Hello fellow coffee botherers, in this video we're going to be looking at this, the Sanremo Cube R. This has been provided on loan only by Sanremo UK. You can get it from various suppliers in the UK and other parts of the world, and I'll put links in the description. Affiliate links wherever possible, which means if you buy one after clicking that link, you're supporting this channel. Thanks! We'll start by showing the machine in all its glory so you can get a good look at it. I first saw the Cube in the flesh at the Manchester Coffee Festival last year, and I was really impressed with the way it looks. I think sometimes you have to really see a machine in person to fully appreciate it, which is one of the reasons I think the coffee festivals are such a great idea. In case you're not familiar with Sanremo, they're an Italian commercial espresso machine manufacturer making some stonking commercial machines, including the iconic Cafe Racer. And they've recently started producing some high-end home machines, namely the Cube and the U, which I'm hoping to get hold of soon, so subscribe and stuff to see that. I'm not going into detail on workflow in this video. I'll make a few coffees with it to use as B-roll, so you have something more interesting to look at than my stupid face. So this is a heat exchanger E61 machine, as is a Rocket Apartamento TCA that I reviewed a few weeks ago. That video will pop up here at the end of this video if you want to watch it. As with the Apartamento TCA, this machine has moved away from the traditional design. The Cube very much has its own character and personality, starting with its cube shape, of course. Legend has it that Sanremo were going to call it the Sanremo Sphere to try and teach Alanis Morissette the actual meaning of the word ironic, but they decided against it. Or I may have just made that up. Isn't it ironic? No, it's not, Alanis. A black fly in your Chardonnay is just sad, and rain in your wedding day is just normal in the UK. Let's go through the specs and then I'll answer the most obvious questions. We'll put the dimensions on the screen. .9 litre stainless steel boiler with heat exchanger, 1.8 litre water tank but can be plumbed in, boiler pressure gauge and brew pressure gauge, drip tray with approximately 600 ml capacity, can also be plumbed into the drains. This is a new bigger drip tray by the way versus the original version, and it's dishwasher safe too. PID temperature control via the app or the machine, E61 style group with mechanical pre-infusion, Wi-Fi connection and smartphone app for easier temperature control, on-off scheduling and various other functions. Rotary pump, 3-way solenoid valve, Pro Cool Touch steam wand with 3-hole tip, hot water spout, digital display with shot timer, available in 8 colours. First impressions. Before I answer the most obvious questions, I'll just give you my first impressions on the Cube. The first thing to say is it's really quite small for a machine that has so much to offer. There might be some TARDIS technology going on here. It's almost 27 kilos, so it's a substantial machine, but it's in a really small footprint, a similar size to the Sage dual boiler, and the height means it'll fit under most kitchen wall units if it needs to. You can make it even shorter if you want to by removing the cup tray rails. I really like the aesthetics of it. It's got a lot of personality. The steam and water valves are really unusual and it's available in an unusually wide range of colours. So I feel like they've tried really hard to ensure this does well in terms of PAF, Partner Approval Factor, which is very important when you're buying an espresso machine. As a home barista, you might not give a crap about how your machine fits visually in your kitchen, but a non-home barista better half may well give a crap. Also, this looks and feels incredibly well built. I know when it comes to the price, some people are going to comment that this isn't a cheap machine, but that's because this isn't a cheap machine. Now let's answer some questions. How much is it? Let's start off here because this appears to be a bone of contention in some of the other comments I've seen on this machine, and I don't think it should be. In the UK, this is around £2,500, give or take a few £100 or so depending on where you buy it from. Just be aware, if you find it for significantly less than this, it may be from a great importer, so it may cost you a lot more than that by the time you've paid the customs fees, and it probably won't have a UK warranty. I'm not sure how much it is in other countries, but I'll find out and stick that in the description. Is this overly expensive? In my opinion, no, not at all. I'm adding this question because I've seen some commentary on this along the lines of it being overpriced. Yes, you can get heat exchanger machines much cheaper than this. You can get dual boiler machines quite a bit cheaper than this. You can get similarly priced or only slightly more expensive dual boiler machines that have some features this doesn't have. The great thing about the home espresso machine market now is there's so much choice. There's a perfect machine for everyone. If this is a perfect machine for you, then I don't think it's fair to say it's overpriced. It costs more than cheaper E61 group heat exchanger machines because it has more expensive components and premium build quality versus cheaper options. If you don't need a quiet rotary pump with the ability to plumb the machine in, if you're not fussed about app control, being able to schedule the on and off times on your phone, if you're not too concerned about spending more on high-end build quality and design, if you're more focused on value for money, then yeah, this probably isn't the perfect machine for you. But that doesn't mean it's overpriced. What's the espresso like? I'm including this question in my machine reviews only really to emphasise the point that the espresso quality comes down to how well extracted the shot is, which is a lot more to do with the coffee, the grinder and the ability of the home barista than the machine. Speaking of coffee beans, if you're in the UK and you've not tried my coffee from seaworks.co.uk, try it, it's mega. What's that you say? I would say that, I'm biased. How very dare you? But see for yourself, use the discount code YT25 for 25% off your first order. If you don't like them, you don't have to buy them again. Deal? The machine certainly helps, especially when it comes to consistency, and this is a very temperature stable machine, so you have the same kind of ability to produce well extracted shots with this than you would with most other premium options. How loud is it? Let's find out. Pulling shots. Steaming milk. The very quiet pump is one of the main advantages of paying more for a rotary pump machine, alongside the ability to plumb them in. What's the steam power like? Let's find out by timing how long it takes to steam 170 ml of milk to 60 degrees Celsius. What's the hot water temperature like? What are the steam and water dials like to use? These are unusual. They're not rotary dials and they're not levers either. They purge with a slight twist to the right and full steam power is a quarter turn to the left. I find these really nice to use. I definitely prefer them to rotary, and I'm not a massive fan of having to do this action as I have dodgy wrists. I do like levers. It makes sense to be able to just push one way to purge and the other way for continuous, but I find these just as quick and easy to use. How simple is it to use? It was very easy to set up. Changing the boiler temperature is relatively easy on the screen and very easy via the app. The app makes things really simple, and using it to pull shots and steam milk is just as simple as with any other heat exchanger E61 machine. What's the app like? There aren't a great deal of machines with apps at present, so to have an app at all is great, I think, as long as it works well. For me, apps that work well and don't suffer with connectivity issues are definitely worth having. Apps that are a nightmare to connect and or keep connected and or don't offer any real useful features I think are more trouble than they're worth. No one wants a CR app. This app was very easy to connect. My Google Pixel Pro just picked it up straight away, and you can scan the QR code in the app setup manual. There was nothing to it, and I've had no issues with it while using it in the run-up to filming this video. I did get a bit confused to start with, as I just connected directly to the Cube by Wi-Fi and I didn't properly RTFM. Once I did that though, it was clear that I'd missed a couple of steps, and from then on it was perfect. In terms of features, I think it's great. The on-off scheduling is very good. You can set up multiple time slots for each day. For example, if you wanted to, you could have it on between 8 AM to 10 AM, and then back on from 1 PM to 3 PM, then back on from 5 PM to 8 PM. You don't have to, of course. You can just set one time slot per day, but having 3 gives the scheduling more flexibility than I'm used to seeing with machines that have this feature. When you want to set your on and off time, you can just copy it over to the other days of the week. You don't have to repeat it 5 times, for example, if you want the same time slot on each weekday. I really like that. It shows counters, how many coffees you've made today, this week, this month, this year, and in total. You can turn standby mode and eco mode on and off, choose various languages if you want to, change the boiler temperature, change the unit of measurement, turn on the filter reporting if you plumbed in via a water filter. You can see the extraction time via the app when you're pulling a shot. You can see the water tank level if you're using the water tank, and it shows a current boiler temperature too. In terms of the brew temperature, you can change that, but it's a heat exchanger, so you're changing the steam boiler temperature, and it gives you an approximate setting to what you're also changing the brew temperature and the bar pressure to when you change that. So the boiler temperature is in 1 Celsius increments from 115 to 126 degrees Celsius, which equates to approximately 89.5 to 96.3 C in brew temperature and 0.75 bar to 1.45 bar pressure. What grinder should you pair it with? Whatever you like, there's a huge amount of choice, but I'd highly recommend going for as capable a grinder as possible. I think going for a premium machine like this and pairing it with a budget grinder would be a real shame, as you're just not going to be using it to its full potential where cup quality is concerned. Sanremo offer the all-ground grinder in matching colours, which makes it a very obvious choice if you or your significant other is particularly keen on keeping things colour matched. The Sanremo all-ground is a great grinder though. It's a Sanremo version of the Firenzato all-ground, which is a very capable grinder. 65mm flat titanium coated burrs, 250-watt motor. It has a great range for espresso, but will also grind for mocha pot, AeroPress, filter and so on. 2 programmable doses and continuous, portafilter cradle, plus fully enclosed grinds collector. It's just over £700 in the UK, a price point with a lot of competition, so if you're not bothered about the colour and brand match, you may want to shop around. But if you are bothered about that, this is a very capable grinder, and you're not limited to espresso, so if you sometimes do pour over, it'll grind for that too. Who's this for? Personally, I think the kind of user this is really made for is a home barista who's using relatively standard beans, producing fairly traditional espresso and steaming milk for milkies who wants a showpiece machine with a very premium look and feel. The ability to plumb it in and out and never have to worry about emptying the drip tray or filling the tank. I say standard beans and traditional espresso. What I mean by that is someone who's buying a machine for using lighter roasts, pulling flow profiled shots and so on would probably be leaning towards dual boiler machines, which usually give more precise control over the brew temperature. Not that you couldn't do that kind of thing with this, but I think there are quite a few other machines that lend themselves more to that kind of use. Read the showpiece comment. There are some machines that lend themselves to this, that really draw the eye to them, and this is one of them. As far as real showpiece machines go, this is actually quite inexpensive in comparison to some, but I think a lot of people will be impressed with the way this looks. Most importantly, your significant other, which might make it a little bit easier to get the purchase approved by the boss. And there you go, the Sanremo Cube. Coffee Cave comment of the week!
Mickit2067 says, you know it would be really helpful? A nice little table at the end summarising the winner of each category.
Good idea. Here's a little table for you. It's even got an umbrella. Joking apart, yes, we will do that. Good idea. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching, and if you think coffee is as addictive as Haribo and you enjoyed this video, we've got tons of content about how to make better coffee at home to take you from beginner to home barista. We've got reviews and how-tos on the most popular machines. If you like the sound of that, click on my face to subscribe. Tatty bye!